Welcome to the first ever episode of Fishbowl. This is the show where we interview young entrepreneurs and, we find out what their success plan is. I'm here with
Giovanni. What's up, man?
What's up, Gio? How you doing, bro?
Good, bro.
Life is amazing for you?
Oh, yeah, bro.
So, man, I hit up Gio. We were talking about doing this video for a while now. So I got this video all out and everything, and here he is. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your entrepreneur mindset.
Well, bro, entrepreneurship, bro, it's just something different, just being an entrepreneur in general, there's so much freedom, so much potential that you can, get into, if you have the right mindset and your plan, you have a plan, and you want to be able to take those risks, you can totally just, big things can happen.
Yeah, of course. I always think that, man, a lot of people have their mind on smaller things, college and stuff. Yeah, that's great. I'm not saying don't go to college.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if you look at the richest people, they're not doctors, they're not engineers, they're entrepreneurs. And so that's why I really encourage a lot of people to start their own business and get out there for it. Mm-hmm. So, why be an entrepreneur? Why? Why should someone not go to college? Why should someone be a businessman?
Well, I think it depends on the person. It depends what you want to do with your life. Mm-hmm. People if you want to be a doctor or maybe a lawyer, you're gonna have to go to college. You're gonna have to put in the work in. You're gonna have to
be passionate.
You're gonna have to be passionate for it. You're gonna have to find the right passion. You don't want to limit yourself. As an entrepreneur, you don't want to limit yourself to only having the mindset. Oh, I have to go to college. I have to go to school. I have to succeed. I have to go to school in order to be successful.
And a lot of times that's put on them because of their parents.
It's because of their parents. Because their parents don't know. They think in their minds, they have in their mindset my son or my daughter, they need to succeed. In order for them to succeed, they have to go to college.
Yeah.
They have to get a good education. But really, what's really gonna make them a fortune is self-education.
Yeah, self-education is everything.
Fortune. Yeah.
Because you don't learn a lot of stuff in school. You don't learn how to buy a house. You don't learn taxes. You don't learn
Yeah.
A lot of kids don't even know their social security number. I personally was struggling with that earlier this year. So I think a lot of things are self-learned, and people can't just look for all their answers from college.
For sure.
What is your success plan?
My success plan is right now. So what I'm doing, today's topic, e-commerce, that's what we're talking about. Right now in the e-commerce. And then soon, what you're doing, real estate, I want to get into that too. That's gonna be my main goal. Mm-hmm. But right now, e-commerce is where I'm starting out. So I feel like it's so, it's so just anybody can do it. Really anybody, as long as you put in the work, anybody can do it.
I feel as though e-commerce is a really good tool for people to get into it, and beginners, people who are just trying to figure out their situation. I think e-commerce is a very good place to start.
Yeah, for sure. It teaches them, the rules of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
All that, it really is kind of like e-commerce is the way for people to get their feet wet before they dive straight in. And it's totally
yeah. For those of you who haven't noticed, me and Gio are very good friends. And to have him on here and to tell us his story about his e-commerce stuff is really cool, and I do really appreciate it. Now, we get into the juicy stuff.
For sure. E-commerce.
So, what are you selling? What product, what category are you looking in?
Well, I think it all depends, whatever on e-commerce, most people, they don't give out products unless they're selling a course or, doing something that where they get something in return. Mm-hmm. People sell their knowledge to you, basically. Yeah. They don't sell you the course just for nothing. They're selling with that course comes the knowledge, and you got to be really careful when you purchase these courses because there could be you could buy you could invest $1,000 into this course and not learn a thing.
Yeah.
Products you sell, it all depends. Whatever's if you're you gotta find your right niche. You gotta find what you want to sell, like what's a winning product.
Something that you're used to. So if you're someone who likes sports, try selling, like sports gear. Or if you're someone who likes music, musical instruments and stuff like that would do you well.
Yeah.
So do you there's different types of e-commerces, and there's a different way you can get into it. So do you do yours through Shopify? Do you do eBay? What websites or software that you're working
Well, I did. So right now, I did start out with eBay. eBay was my very first source of doing, what's called drop shipping, where when you do e-commerce, you start up an online store, buy a product from like a supplier like AliExpress. You either hold the inventory or you wait till a customer buys your product, and then once the customer buys your product, you type in their address, type in all their information, and ship it to them
directly to them.
And then, but on your store, you list it for a higher price.
Yeah.
So so you basically make the profit.
Yeah.
Make the profit. I think e-commerce, like what you're trying to sell, like it of course depends like what you want to sell, depends on like the person you are, but like at the same time, like if you're so into like if you're so into sports, let's say, and you're trying to sell sports, but you're not getting any like sales, you're not making any sales, like it's difficult. So you might need to like switch niches. You might want to go from sports to like maybe more like a winning product category, like home products, or like fitness gym products. That kind of ties into sports. But
I was in the e-commerce game earlier this year and late last year. I was getting into some eBay stuff. I made a good amount of money off of selling like my PlayStation and stuff like that, different electronics. Yeah. I tried getting into toys and clothing and different things like that, but I kind of want to focus more on one thing, because with me, I'm not sure if this is all entrepreneurs, I'm not sure if this is you, but what I do is hop from thing to thing, because there's so much in the entrepreneurial world that you can do. I want a bit of everything, but I kind of dialed it down and put it to real estate because that's my passion. Who put you in this mindset?
Honestly, bro, like, if I'm being completely honest, this man right here, he put me in the mindset.
Don't do that, bro.
He put me in the mindset.
Don't do that, bro.
He put me in the mindset for being an entrepreneur, because it was, we're going to tell a little story. It was sophomore year. I remember. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Caden if he's watching this. It was us three, me, Caden, and you. We were all in biology together, and we saw you. You were like looking at like houses, like riches basically. Yeah. We were like, Sean, like, why are you looking at this, bro? Like, and we're like, bro, like, it's so lit. Like, this is possible. This is possible for us to do. You just gotta put in the work. And we're like, yeah, but how would you do it? We were young, we were confused, we didn't know what we wanted to do, but with you putting us in the entrepreneur mindset, and with us digging deeper into the entrepreneur like game, and like seeing all these like successful people, like, and they're most of these people,
they started like us.
They started from nothing, and
zero
now they're like
exactly all that stuff.
Exactly, and now they're somewhere, bro. They're all driving their fancy cars, living a good life. They're financially free. That's our main goal, is to be financially free.
Yeah. I think a lot of people get it twisted. Oh, money isn't everything. Yeah, money isn't everything. Being financially free would bring anyone happy. Yeah.
You
don't have stress.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you do. You get stressed from other things, obviously, but you won't be financially stressed as someone who works a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week. Back to back, paycheck to paycheck. But when you live a life where you're constantly getting just passive income.
Yeah, passive income.
Just passive income would do a whole lot for people, and I think people get that twisted because money is the root of all evil, so to say. What do you think about that? Do you think money is the root of all evil?
I honestly don't think it is. I think people have like their mindset is mixed up, because usually what society teaches us is it teaches us like find something you're passionate about. Me and him, we're passionate about being entrepreneurs because we know like the risk. Yeah, we know the risk. Putting in the risk. Like the return investment is going to be huge.
The return is going to be huge.
It's going to be huge as long as we put in the work. But what I feel like society like plugs into our brains, like our parents, they're always like find something you're passionate about, but all the like nobody knows what they're passionate about like at this time, high school, like just entering college, even college graduates, they graduate from college, they don't know what they want to do. They don't like they don't think like I can just go into any field.
A lot of people are
Find their passion.
going into college with one track mindset,
Yeah.
and what they do is they go into college thinking everything's gonna be nice and dandy. You know, maybe back then when jobs were actually out there looking for people, and we had jobs, more jobs per se here in America. You were almost guaranteed a job. Way back when.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have a lot of people getting out of college, having tons of debt and not knowing what to do, not getting in the field because they don't have the experience to get in that field. That goes back to self-education. Self-education can get you a long way. See, you can learn. You can teach yourself by books, online, anything, even simply YouTube. You can teach yourself how to be, for example, an electrician. You
Mm-hmm.
learn how to flip change a couple sockets out of the wall. You can turn that into a business and you can be very profitable.
Mm-hmm.
You can make more money than an actual electrician.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Because you own your business.
For sure.
But a lot of people don't look at it like that. Like, I'm going to be a successful electrician, but I'm going to join a company instead of creating the company.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but here's the other thing that society, they plug into our brains. They, they want us to go, find our passion. Like the money will come, But like entrepreneurs, we have the opposite mindset. We go find the money. We don't wait for the money to come find us.
Yeah, we go find the money.
That's like, and I think that's just what society has like put in our brains the whole time. Find something you're like passionate about, and then go find it. You'll eventually the money will come. But I just feel like
Speaking of society, there's not always going to be people that agree with you. Mm-hmm. There's always going to be those people who are out there, simply hating. So have you run into those types of people?
Yeah, many times.
Many times? What experiences have you had?
Well, being an entrepreneur is hard. At times it's hard. It's challenging, because people aren't always going to, accept it.
Yeah.
Or they're not always going to, they're not always going to want to, invest money into you. Like, if
a lot of people think it's too risky.
It's too risky.
A lot of people like to avoid risk. But me, I think behind risk and behind fear is a whole lot of good.
Oh, yeah.
You prevent yourself from getting to certain places because you have fear of the risks and because you don't jump forward, And a lot of people try to deter you, like, no, why are you doing that, I've run into a female that I used to take dear to me, and I was told that I should enjoy my teenage years and not be so focused on business and stuff. Now, me personally, that just only motivated me. I think it did the opposite effect of what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
But I think there's always those people out there who are trying to not take you down per se, but letting their own ideologies spill out onto your canvas.
Most of society is like, they're enjoying the times now. Like, your teenage years, you're free, and but that's only like what, like five.
That's not even
years?
a
That's like
quarter
your
of your
whole
life.
That's not even a quarter of your life.
Yeah.
So like, I think what entrepreneurs have to do is they have to like sacrifice a time in their life, a really short period, like maybe like 2 or 3 years. If you put in 2 or 3 years of straight hustle, then like the results, like the return would be huge.
But look, that's talking about getting rid of your social life, changing up your time, getting rid of a lot of different things. And a lot of people at this age really don't really want to do that.
Yeah, they don't want to do that.
It's more of enjoy it now, enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Now, I have those moments, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm still only human.
Mm-hmm.
I have those moments where I want to chill with my friends and you want to do these things, but I also have the times where I'm like, no, I got to focus on this certain task because it's going to get me somewhere. Hanging with my friends is fun, but is it going to get me somewhere? As a teen, do you come into stress? Do you run into stress?
Yeah, totally. As a teen, it's going to be stressful. Like, you're just going to be stressed out, no matter what. Like, you're going to have to focus. You're going to have to, like, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have to sacrifice the times. Like, you're going to have to sacrifice your time with school because, you're going to have, like, homework on your hands and so on. And, like, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to sacrifice, also, like, some of your social life to, put in some of the work.
Yeah. I think a lot of teens get stressed from school, parents, homework, all that
and
stuff.
Just social life too, like drama, all that.
Yeah, keeping
up
with the latest drama.
Yeah.
Things that you don't things that you don't really need.
Yeah, things that honestly are gonna be irrelevant in like
Yeah.
the next year or
A
something
lot of people
like
stress
that.
over things at school,
Yeah.
and then after school they think, you know, that stuff is gonna matter. It's
Everybody-
really not. No one's gonna care about the T-shirt you just bought.
Yeah.
It's Gucci, Louis. No one's gonna care about that. Your popularity status is going to dwindle down, especially after graduation.
Mhm.
And a lot of people get stressed over the smallest things, and I think they shouldn't.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Everybody these days, like teenagers, they like feed off of like gossip and like just drama, and like, you know, that's I feel like is what, like, you know, distracts them from you know, more important stuff in life too. You know,
Yeah.
like, worry about yourself first before you worry about what
Others.
these other people are doing. You know.
Speaking about worrying about self, you got a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. It's right here on my social media YouTube channel. You can find me at these ads right here. YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram.
Yeah, go check him
Give
out,
him a follow.
definitely. He's a very good friend of mine. I hope you guys go show him some love, some
For sure.
support. If you guys are into e-commerce and everything like that, that stuff will be on his YouTube channel, of
For sure.
course. Go check him out. It's fun having you on the show, buddy.
It was a good time, bro.
We had a good time, man.
Yeah, good talk.
All right, that's the end of the first episode of Fishbowl. Come back to the next one. I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace.
Peace out, everybody.
Oh,